Hello, everybody, and welcome to the friendly confines of Turner Gym here in the Howell Center. Today we're going to be broadcasting the Westminster JV boys basketball team against the Blessed Trinity Titans. I'm Ben Portion, joined alongside with Avery Rhodes and Drew Smith. And guys, today we're going to have a great game, and I'm really excited for this one, especially since the rivalry between Westminster and Blessed Trinity.
Yeah, it's always great to see these two teams come together, especially with Westminster's move up to 3A. You know, it's just, I think the rivalry was there before, but now it's just much stronger.
Malcolm Strickland going to take up the ball here. Passing it off to Paris, he's also starting, and out to Jack Schlafly. Thought about taking the three, back to Malcolm. Ball's intercepted by Sam Powell from Blessed Trinity. And Will Boyk is going to take the ball up, guarded by Jack Schlafly.
Looks like Westminster's got three guards out there right now with Malcolm Strickland, Jack Schlafly, and Paris howling out there.
Westminster trying the trap, and it works. Peter Rooney with the interception. Back out to Jack. He's going to take the ball, push it up to Malcolm. And he's working in, driving. Back out to Ajay, out to Jack. Inside to Peter, he's going to drive. Out to Ajay, taking the three. That's not going to fall. A little long. Rebounded by Tim Bulge. Sorry. Jeremy Smith with the ball. Passes it out to Will Boyk. Back in. Out to David Dunn. Back to Boyk. Boyk with the ball guarded by Schlafly. Malcolm trying to intercept that, but not successful. Shot by Bulge, not going to fall. Rebounded by Paris.
Right now it looks like the Wildcats are playing a very aggressive form of defense, which is something that kind of interests me to say, because here we've seen Malcolm down there go out for to intercept, but it didn't work out too well, so they're going to have to be careful about plays like that.
Another missed possession there. Westminster turns the ball over after a failed layup there by Paris.
It might be a little early to tell, but it just looks like Blessed Trinity is confused offensively. Maybe it's the execution on defense by the Cats, or maybe it's just a little bit of confusion among the Titans.
Great call right there as Blessed Trinity takes a timeout. Great eye for Avery being here his first time, and he's already calling out things beforehand. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it's exciting. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
A little nervous.
We're glad to have you here.
Of course. So Westminster, we can tell so far is that they're trying to trap them, trying to get that 8-second violation, trying to get the ball back, and it's working right now. Inbounds to Sam Paul is going to take the ball up. Back to Boyk. He's going to take the ball, working on Schlafly. Back out to Paul. And that's going to be Jeremy Smith, who's going to drop the three-pointer. A little lapse in judgment there from the Westminster defense, and a great shot there by Jeremy, but Malcolm's going to take the ball back to Paris. To Schlafly. Thought about the three. Ball's tipped. Peter Rooney there to corral it.
It'd be great to see some ball movement here. Both teams have struggled offensively.
Malcolm with the ball down to Peter. He's going to drive, and that's going to fall. Peter actually coming down from Varsity for this game with the injury to DJ Lottie, and that's going to cause him to come down and actually start for this team, giving this team a lot of height. I believe Peter's coming in around 6'6".
And as I just found out, another Cat's out. Will Damron's out with a sprained MCL, along with DJ Lottie is out with a concussion.
Ball's going to be inbound to Boyk, working on Schlafly. Paris comes over, back to Boyk. Pass is tipped by Strickland, but back to Dunn, who drives, not going to fall. Rebounded by Tim Bulge, and that's going to lays it in, and that's going to fall. Another 2 points for BT, and that's going to be a 5-2 Blessed Trinity lead right now. Peter Rooney not going to fall. Jack Schlafly tries to jump the ball, tips it, nothing. BT able to retain possession. Fast break, well guarded by Paris. Ball's going to be tipped, but that's going to be a foul called on Peter Rooney. No, I'm sorry. That's going to be a foul called. Looks to be on Sam Paul. And Westminster's going to retain possession here.
And it looks like we've got number 25, Will Hay, coming into the game, and 45, Grant Ansley.
Missed what happened there, but Blessed Trinity is going to get the ball back here. Since Mr. subs out Jack and Peter for Grant and Will Hay. Fun fact, guys, Will Hay actually dunked last night in a little pickup game.
A little PRUMC basketball, well known around Buckhead and Westminster area.
Around these parts.
BT going to inbound the ball. That's out to Bulge. Back out to St. Paul, guarded by Strickland. Paris on Boyk.
A little bit of miscommunication there.
Floater by Dunn, not going to fall. Floater by St. Paul, not going to fall. And rebound by Grant Ansley. Malcolm Strickland pushing the ball up, working on St. Paul. Loses it, but retains possession. To Ajay. Back to Strickland. And they're going to call a travel on Strickland. Another turnover by the Cats here. That's 3 in a row.
It's kind of an iffy call right there, but I can understand what the refs are looking at there.
Hey, as Jack Schlafly said, we're not wearing those stripes, so we can't really say anything. Out to Boyk, who's a little long on it. Rebound by Grant.
Another rebound. That's second of the game. You know, obviously Grant Ansley brings in a lot of height into the game.
There he is right there. Number 45, Big G. The sophomores around here call him.
With Will Hay out there, too, we've got a lot of height on Westminster's side right now.
Yeah. Malcolm going to take the ball up here. Sam Paul going to be guarding him. Out to J-Rob. Jordan Robinson, pardon me. And they're going to call another travel on Malcolm Strickland. That's the second in a row. Obviously not happy with these calls. They look to be grabbing him for taking that foot and, like, walking with it. Not quite sure there, but that's another turnover for the Cats.
And it looks like Jack Schlafly is going to come in to replace him, hopefully get some efficiency on offense. I mean, the Cats just look a little lost. Malcolm, you know, obviously his second travel in a row. We just need to start something new.
Yeah. And that, you know, there's always that one ref that doesn't really get along with that player, and looks like Malcolm. There's, from what I've noticed after watching a lot of sports over the days, is that sometimes one ref doesn't like what a player does, and it's just part of their style, and it doesn't work for that ref, and that's a bummer. But Brandon Ansley going to be called with a shooting foul there, and that's going to be Tim Bowles going to the line to shoot 2. First one doesn't fall. Peter Rooney coming in for Ajay Minocha. Get a little height down there. Actually, with Will Hay, Peter, Grant, it's going to bring up the average height for the Cats here. Definitely, from what I can see, an advantage.
Yeah, rebound should not be a problem right now. And it's going to be vital right here, especially if we get a missed free throw here.
I guess Coach Jack Morton has seen something on BT's side. They look obviously like they have a little bit shorter lineup in. Maybe he thinks we should just take the height advantage and stick in all our big guys.
Sometimes speed can be a little bit more effective against size. So see how
something
that
to
plays
look out for.
Yeah. Some Bulge at the line for 2. Second one's not going to fall either. Rebound by Jordan Robinson. He's going to pass to Jack Schlafly, pushing the ball up here pretty quickly. Back to Will Hay. Down to Peter. Back to Will. He's driving. He's going to throw that up. That's not going to fall. Rebound by Tim Bulge.
Ooh. Grant Ansley took a blow to the face.
And that's why they wear mouth guards, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to call a foul on Tim there, who, as you can see here, gives Grant an elbow to the face. And that's going to cause Westminster retain possession here. That'll be J-Rob inbounding the ball here. Let's see what Westminster does in this inbounds play, because it'll be interesting to see what they have drawn up. Out to Peter. And that's not going to fall. Rebound by Boyk. He's going to push the ball up. J-Rob guarding Boyk. tipped by Will Hay, but that's not enough. And that's going to be a 3 outside from Ian Bolger, brother to Tim Bolge.
Yeah, BT's got 2 sets of brothers on these teams. It's got to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, there's that sibling combo that you can see all over sports, especially here with Blake Gilligan and Tyler Gilligan, that punting long snapper combo, which works so great.
The punt squad, as their license plate says.
It's just that chemistry that can really help to execute some amazing plays here.
With the score 8-2 here, Westminster down early. A 3 outside, well guarded by Peter, and that's going to fall well short. Jack Schlafly pushing the ball to Peter, who's inside, not going to fall. Will Hay with the
Great
rebound.
putback by Will Hay.
The rebound that's going to fall. What Westminster needed, a low-scoring game so far here, 8-4, as the first quarter winds down. And they're gonna call
a back push on Hay there.
Westminster subbing in 4 people. Big change.
Completely changing up their strategy of height, it looks like.
Yes.
Jimmy Balloon coming in the game here, Watson Jackson, and Paris and Malcolm back in the game. Coach Morgan trying to keep the legs fresh out there, keep guys.
Got to keep the legs fresh and the talent flowing.
Exactly. And that's a tip pass from Jimmy Balloon, who's up to Malcolm Strickland, who's going to lay it in. An easy layup falling, and Westminster going back to this press defense. Paris working on Paul. Get him trapped in the corner, double team. Paul gets out of it, pumps up a 3. That's not going to fall. Rebound by Watson Jackson. And they're going to call foul.
You know, this is a great run for Westminster heading into the quarter. It'd be great to build up some momentum.
Yeah. They're going to call foul number 25, Ted Williams. Malcolm Strickland going to take up the ball here. They're going to actually inbound the ball this time. And Malcolm.
I think you're exactly right with that referee having a problem with Strickland, because that's the 3rd time it looked like he individually pulled him over that time. So hopefully they can sort it out.
You know, a lot of time in any sport, a ref will give a player just a quick warning, you know, just a heads up.
It's like, I'm going to call you on that every time if you keep doing it. So it's always a good little wake up as Watson Jackson's jump shot does not fall. And as we head into the second quarter here, I'm going to be joined by 2 seniors here as they get their headsets on, Ben Ladner and Nick East, coming from the varsity squad. Y'all have a big game tonight.
We do indeed. Blessed Trinity at 7:30 tonight, a region game, and so we're hoping to improve to 3-0, 4-0 in the sub-region, which would be a big step for us.
Yeah, and the girls, I believe, also taking on Blessed Trinity?
That's right, at 6 o'clock, and also the 9th grade boys and the JV girls all playing Blessed Trinity.
So if you guys have a chance to come out for those games, come here, support your Wildcats, because we're going to need it, taking on Blessed Trinity. I guess you could say one of our newfound rivals, you could call it, after our switch up to 3A.
Yeah, well, with Lovett out of our region and out of our classification in general, we don't play them as often anymore, and they don't count as region games, so they don't have as much playoff implications, you could say. But now with BT, they kind of step into that rivalry role, and so they've had our number in a few sports recently, volleyball and football, but we're hoping to get them back tonight.
Great. And Boyd going to take the ball up. Boyd, back to Boyd. Back to Boyd. He's going to be working on Watson Jackson. Bounce pass down to Hirschberger. Back to Boyd. He's going to drive. Bounce pass intercepted by Watson Jackson. And back to Parrish. He's going to take the ball up.
Well, right now Westminster is doing a really good job on defense of collapsing into the paint as Malcolm Strickland gets called for his 3rd travel of the game. But on defense, Westminster is doing a good job of collapsing into the paint when on those Blessed Trinity drives and preventing any drop-off passes, which is what Blessed Trinity wants to do.
Malcolm just really doesn't look like himself right now.
Malcolm with the ball after a good interception there. He's working on Boyk, over to Paris. Inside to Watson, over to Will Hay, back to Watson. Out to Malcolm. He's going to take the 3, and that's going to fall. Hopefully a little upside to Malcolm's game right now. We're going to call a foul on Paris.
And you just saw another look at that shot by Strickland. These Westminster guards, if you give them those jump shots up top as they're swinging the ball around the perimeter, they're not afraid to take them. You got guys like Watson Jackson, Malcolm Strickland, Paris Howland, Jack Schlafly, all capable of knocking down the 3. And that was a travel that went uncalled. Westminster Trinity getting the rebounds inside. And number 11 will go to the line.
Coach Morgan giving some good advice off the sideline. Classic.
Michael Hirschberger at the line here to shoot 2. Varsity Trinity already 0 for 2 from the line. Hirschberger looking to change that. His first one falls. That's going to tie the game up here, 9-9. As Westminster was down 8-2 earlier. It's been a great start to the second quarter. Westminster really showing their fight. Second one falls for Hirschberger. Malcolm's going to take the ball up here.
Jimmy's just an all-around hustle player.
And Strickland travels again, his 4th of the game, and 3 of them, what he's doing is catching it and then taking that jump, which a lot of the times referees don't call, but these referees are calling the call correctly, but Strickland just isn't used to having that called against him.
Malcolm with a great steal.
Now look up to Paris and can't convert on the layup. The Wildcats guards have had a tough time converting layups tonight.
Boyk with the ball, intercepted by Watson, up to Paris. He's going to take a layup. Doesn't fall, but he's going to be called. I'm going to head to the line here.
Obviously a little frustrated. Probably one of the easier and ones for Paris.
Good hustle back by the Blessed Trinity defense. A good foul there, preventing a layup and sending Howland to the line. But you got to be careful on those types of fouls because that wasn't a foul where he really took Howland to the ground or prevented him from raising up. He still got up to shoot the ball, and there's just a little bit of body contact. So that's a play where Howland could easily convert that and make it an and one. So those types of fouls you got to be careful with if you're Blessed Trinity.
Paris's first one doesn't fall, but that one does. Inbound to Boyk. Westminster working this trap. To Boyk. He's driving on Jack. Bounce pass to Hirschberger. And he's fouled by Peter Rooney in the paint, going to go to the line again after going 2 for 2 the first time.
And that's what Blessed Trinity wants to do to you. They want to get their guards penetrating and going towards the basket and draw that help side defender from the post and then drop it off to the forward for the layup. And as you saw there, Hirschberger couldn't convert the layup, but he's shown that he's a reliable option at the line, going 3 for 3 so far.
Second doesn't drop. That's going to be rebounded by Peter Rooney over to Malcolm. He's going to take the ball up over to Paris. Back to Malcolm. He's going to take the 3 again. That's not going to fall. Rebound by Paris over to Watson. And that jumper is going to fall, putting Westminster back in the lead after this going back and forth, and it's going to be 12-11 Westminster.
Westminster defense is really making Blessed Trinity scramble here on offense, and look at they force Boyk into the corner and nearly committed a turnover. They're creating a lot of chaos for Blessed Trinity and with his hectic defense trying to force some turnovers.
Having Watkins, Paris, and Strickland all there up top along with Schlafly, really a strong 4 players right there that are good on defense. Really cause a lot of turnovers.
Ball's going to stay here. Inbound to Hirschberger. His jumper isn't going to fall, and Malcolm's going to take the ball up. Out to Paris. Thought about taking the 3. Back to Malcolm. He's blocked, but grabs his own rebound off the block. Blessed Trinity going to get possession here. Boyk with the ball. And Hirschberger going to be fouled here. He's going to head to the line for the 3rd time.
A lot of substitutions here for Blessed Trinity, and now they're going to have almost 5 guards on the court, 4 true guards, and then a forward. So that's going to allow them to transition back on defense pretty well and also shoot the open 3, because Blessed Trinity all across their program, from the top down to the bottom, loves to shoot the 3. They run their offense so they can get open 3-point looks. So Westminster's really going to have to be wary of that with these 4 guards on the court.
Ajay Minocha coming into the game for Westminster. Same with Jordan Robinson, and the first look at Matthew Failer in the game here.
I think they need to look for Ajay on the 3-point line. Strong shooter.
Peter Rooney with the rebound. And Malcolm's going to take the ball up here. To Jordan, back to Malcolm. Into Peter. He's going to drive. That's not going to fall. And it's going to go the other way.
Tough fighting down low by Peter.
They're going to call a foul on Matthew Failer, but I think they missed a call when Rooney was going to the basket. It looked like he got bodied and maybe hit on the arm a couple times, but no call. And he went in there and couldn't convert the layup. And now Blessed Trinity in the bonus, and on the next foul will be in the double bonus. So free throws have really kept them in this game, guys, to this point. I mean, most of their points have come from the line. They've hit a couple open layups here and there, a 3 here and there, and a few open mid-range shots, but for the most part it's been free throws. So Westminster has not done a good job of keeping them off the line.
The key for the second half for Westminster is going to be staying away from those fouls. The only reason BT's in this.
Hirschberger's first one doesn't fall. Rebound by Matthew Failer. They're going to call jump ball there. Possession, Blessed Trinity, so they're going to keep the ball there after Hirschberger's second one misses. Ian Bolger to inbound the ball here. Bounce pass intercepted by Malcolm. He's going to push the ball up. Out to Jordan Robinson, who takes the jumper. And that's going to fall. Helpful roll from the rim there.
Oh, great defense by Malcolm.
Got the reach-in foul called on him, but that was a sweet stroke there by Robinson as you take another look at it. Look at him, a good form, and because of it gets a nice shooter's bounce, but he's worked a lot on his game these past few years. Didn't make the team in 8th grade, and now as a 10th grader, coming back, making the JV squad, and he's really made huge strides in his game.
Completely new player now.
Sam Paul's first one drops. And these fouls really killing Westminster. BT being able to keep in this game from the line. As Paul's second one doesn't fall. Rebounded by Ethan Price. Our first look at him in the game. Malcolm with the ball. Tries to get inside to Failer. That's intercepted by Ian Bolger. Sam Paul's going to be working on Malcolm Strickland here.
And Malcolm forced that pass a little bit. Westminster's got a lot of size as Malcolm hustles on defense. Great job. Now up to Robinson. Gets it blocked. Good transition defense by BT. Like I said, with those quick guards, they're able to get back pretty quickly on defense.
That's 3 steals in a row right there.
Jordan Robinson with the ball. He's going to throw it off Ian Bolger. And that ball's going to stay with the Wildcats.
Some hectic basketball being played.
Well, that's back to that chaos up top with those three primary players.
Inbound to Rooney. He's going to take the jumper, and that's going to fall.
Yeah, he's got a sweet little mid-range game. The JV varsity swing player can only play 3 quarters in the JV game. That's why he's being subbed in and out so sporadically. Coach Morgan wants to play him for as much time as he can while still only playing him in 3 of the 4 quarters in this game. So he's playing him and then letting him rest for a minute or two and subbing him right back in. But he's got a nice stroke, can shoot it up to about 18 feet, and also has really good post moves. A really skilled big man, has quick feet, and is pretty physical down low. Another shot by Robinson.
It's part of that work he put in on the offseason right there.
Paul to Hirschberger. You're going to push the ball up with Bolger. Sam Paul working on Paris. J-Rob Garden done here.
More great defense by the Cats.
That was Ethan Price with the rip there, and Paris is going to take the ball up. And layup doesn't fall. Peter going to try and make it fall, and that does. After BT with some good inside defense, Peter's able to get the ball to fall.
And that's what you expect from this Westminster team. You expect them to own the offensive glass and the defensive glass for that matter. They are a team with a tremendous amount of size with Rooney and Price and Hay and Ansley, Jimmy Balloon, Matthew Failer, all guys over 6 feet, and you don't see that very often on a JV team. So they can certainly use that size to their advantage inside and own the offensive glass.
Sam Paul, he's going to drive and throw up a ball that's not going to fall. J-Rob tips it to Jack, who gives it out to Paris. Finds Peter down low. That's not going to fall. Ethan Price with the board, and that one falls. Another great example of that offensive board, offensive rebounding from the Westminster JV team here.
Yeah, great follow there by Price, and that going back to that missed layup by Rooney, I think that's probably the next step in his game is being able to go to his left consistently. He was practicing with the varsity team yesterday, and as we were running through some of the drills, the coaches kept trying to reiterate to him, use your left hand, you have it, that's the side we want you to take it to. And so I think that's the next step for him, is being able to use that left hand as easily as his right. You saw him on that layup attempt try and wrap it around, and that made a much more difficult shot.
And BT looking at a completely new set of guys here. Inbound to Bolger, who's going to give it to Boyk. Wellick back to Boyk. Jeremy Smith with the ball. Ted Williams driving, not going to fall. Ethan Price chucks up a ball with the buzzer, but that was a prayer that was not answered. And with that here in the Howell Center, it's going to be halftime as the boys head to the locker room. Your score 23-15, the Wildcats up. Tune in for us in the second half for another great half of basketball. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Turner Gym, where the Mr. Wildcats are taking on Blessed Trinity Titans in a JV matchup that has been very interesting so far, with Westminster up 23-15 at the half. Joining alongside me is Avery Rhodes and Drew Smith, as Ben Ladner and Nick East have gone to the locker room getting ready for their big game tonight, 7:30. Make sure you come out and support the Cats if you can't. Westminster's coverage will start at 6:30 with the girls' game. 6 with the girls' game, and 7:30 with the guys' game. Westminster with the ball here. Paris giving it to Malcolm, who's working on Sam Paul. Jack to Malcolm. Back to Jack.
That's like Malcolm's, I think, 4th or 5th travel of the game.
What he's doing, from what I'm seeing, is he's getting the ball and he's taking that one extra step, which is actually called correctly, as Ben Ladner pointed out. But most refs don't call it, but these refs certainly are. And it's causing a little bit of commotion for Malcolm, not really himself yet.
Yeah, it's just a little slide almost, not even a full step, but, it's still a travel.
And you think after 4 times you maybe would have figured it out, but I guess he's not quite there yet.
Sam Paul with the ball. He's back to Boyk. He's got it to Jeremy Smith. Working on Peter Rooney. Peter's going to get the block. Peter to Paris. He's going to start pushing it up here. Jack to Paris. Back to Jack. He's going to take a 3. That's not going to fall. Peter thought he had the rebound, but Sam Paul going to run in there and grab it.
Yeah, Westminster, they were making a great run in the second quarter. Started off a little slow. Obviously, came back with an 8-point lead going into halftime. Hopefully they can keep that going.
Sam Paul drives on Ethan Price, and that's going to fall. But good look from Malcolm to Jack, who's going to give it back to Malcolm. Inside to Peter, and he's going to be driving, but tipped at the rim by Sam Paul. And it's going to head back towards BT side. Done. And up to Jeremy Smith. Back to Sam Paul. He's going to drive. Looking for Tim Bolger there. Pass a little high. And they're going to call a foul there on BT, and it's going to be Westminster ball.
Looks like Coach Morgan's found a 5 that's really working with Ethan Price in the game. He didn't come in until late in the second quarter, but he seems to like this chemistry together.
Looks like he's going to be here to stay for a little while, if I was to guess.
And just called it here. The ball's going to stay here. Strickland thought it was another traveling call. Getting used to that.
I thought so too after about 4 or 5 of those.
Parrish going to inbound to Strickland here. He's working on Sam Paul. He's going to drive. Land doesn't go. Ethan Price with the rebound. That doesn't go. Jack Schlafly with the hustle out to grab that. Working on Boyk. Out to Paris. Strickland. Back to Jack. And he's going to take that. I knew he was going to take that right when he got it. And that's going to drop again. Buckets. 3 points.
That's one of the great things about Schlafly. He's always a dependent person you can count on when you're taking those outside shots, which is really, I think, his expertise. Jeremy
Smith tries to roll and shoot, but Ethan Price stuffs him, gets his own rebound, gives it out to Boyk. Doesn't fall. Strickland is coming back. He's working on Sam Paul. Out to Jack. Inside to Peter. Down low, and that's going to fall. Cats really looking strong so far in this second half.
Peter Rooney really making his presence felt after coming down from varsity, trying to prove that he does deserve that varsity spot. And he's been a big part of the game for the Cats so far.
This JV team could not ask for a better player to come down up there, because so far he has really been a key player out there and really helped them out significantly.
Boyk's 3 doesn't fall. It'll be a Westminster ball. And Blessed Trinity doing another one of their squad wipes as an entire new set of guys comes in the game to try and try and guard this Westminster offense that's really clicking right now. And Strickland's going to take the ball down.
Yeah, they got to mix something up because it's just not working recently.
Yeah, because like what you said is that, like Westminster, they finally found that group of 5 that's really, they've just been making the shots, playing together well as a team, and then BT just hasn't found that those 5 people that mesh together really well.
It's just interesting how small of a change it can make just one player, because this is basically the starting lineup, but Ethan Price comes into the game, brings a whole new factor into it.
Parrish down to Rooney. Parrish is going to take the shot. That's not going to fall. Ethan not able to get the rebound. Rebounded by Harrison Wellick. And that ball is going to stay here. Westminster ball. Parrish is going to inbound it to Malcolm here.
Going to be honest, kind of thought they might call another travel on Malcolm right there, but luckily he's learned from his mistakes.
Peter working down low, and that's going to fall. A force to reckon with in the paint there. He's loving that block right now. That's 3 in a row from down there. Westminster still using this half-court trap. It works again. Malcolm to Peter. Tries to dunk. But that's going to fall. And 1 for Peter Rooney as he's fouled hard. Goes to the ground. Here we go. We see it again.
The Cats just look great right now. Best run we've had all game, just starting the second quarter. They've just been playing fantastic.
With BT only making, I think, maybe 3 points or any point since the beginning of this half. It looks like the Wildcats, like we've said, are just playing exceptional defense and really making all the shots that they need to make.
And Peter gets his and 1 to fall. This trap working for the Cats, but that doesn't work there. And Ian Bolger gets open for 3 and makes the Cat pay for that lapse in judgment. But Strickland with the ball over to Paris. Back to Strickland.
You can just sense the urgency in this game. You know, the two schools now being pretty big rivals, and it just seems like Westminster is playing with some motivation. You know, just that rivalry factor.
After Paris gets his jumper to fall, half-court trap works again. Westminster gets the ball back, and Malcolm is fouled. And Westminster going to get another possession here. As BT really is struggling against this press defense that Westminster's throwing at them.
You think that they would have figured out by now that they need to start doing something differently, but so far it looks like BT is just making the same plays, and Westminster will just keep on doing theirs.
Strickland out to Schlafly. He's working on Ted Williams. Over to Strickland. Thought he had an open look, but he's going to get called with another travel foul.
You know Coach Morgan's going to be on him after this game in the next practice. I mean, just muscle memory, you know, he can't get over it.
And if travels were personal fouls, Malcolm Strickland would be out of the game right now.
I think he would have been out of a few travels ago.
Williams able to track that one down, but not before it goes off the hands of Hirschberger. Westminster using that press to their advantage as we see 4 new guys coming to the game. Will Hay, Jordan Robinson, Watson Jackson, and Ajay Manocha. As J-Rob's going to take the ball and give it to Ajay. Back to Ajay. J-Rob to Watson. Back to Robinson. To Ajay, who's from 3, and that's a little short. But you can usually rely on him from downtown. He can make that one almost.
Yeah, he's good from 3-point range. You know, that's kind of what he's known for.
Over to Hirschberger. Looking inside. Decides not to go there. As inside to Ian Bolger. That's not going to fall. Good defense by Peter Rooney, who also grabs the board. Pushing it up to Watson. Out to J-Rob for 3. That's not going to fall.
Looked like he was feeling it. That was a quick shot.
That's a drive by Williams there. That's not going to fall. But Ajay is picked off by Ted Williams. Able to get the ball over to Ian Bolger.
It is all-out war on this court right now.
This is a chaotic game.
I'd rather see the Cats slow it down a little bit. We look a little too looks like we're going a little too fast. I don't know. I think whatever we were doing before was working.
When we get
no need to change it up.
When you get too fast, that's when you get too reckless, and that's even in this past 30 seconds, we've seen a couple of mistakes right there.
2 turnovers in probably last 30 seconds or so,
BT going to do another complete rotation. Another 5 guys come in for the other 5 guys, and it's just a cycle. Boyk has the ball here, working on Watson Jackson.
Speaking of BT's substitution methods, pretty interesting tactic, similar to what Kentucky does with their 2 teams.
Great point there is Jeremy Smith with the ball out to Paul. He's got it out to Dunn. Inside to Boyk. He throws up a wild shot that falls. Great shot by Boyk there, a little off balance, going off his back leg, and that's false. Watson gets stripped. That's inside to Boyk, and they're going to call him with the travel.
Looks like BT's gotten a little bit of a second wind here in this last minute itself, even.
J-Rob over to Peter Rooney, and he's going to take a shot at the buzzer that isn't going to fall. Hearing shots from the crowd, yelling out the time, hoping that one would fall, but that's going to go into the 4th quarter with the score being 35-22. Your Cats really driving right now, really looking good.
You got a decent crowd here for a JV boys game. It's always fun to see. The crowd's getting into it. JV girls, cheerleaders. Fun to watch.
As we start out with not that many people here, but slowly but surely people start to trickle in, and now I'd say basically everyone's pretty into this game right now.
I mean, what's there not to like when your Cats are up by 13 points?
Yeah, probably trickling in for the next 2 games. You got big varsity games against BT too.
Both boys and girls, those games coming at 6 and 7:30. If you can't come down here, which that would be awesome to come support your Cats, it's always a great boost. If you can't do that, then we will, WCAT, will be broadcasting both those games at 6 and 7:30. That's going to be a great matchup tonight. We had Nick East and Ben Ladner here on the show a little bit earlier, preparing for their game now as we're going to head into this 4th quarter. 35-22, Westminster looking to keep doing what they're doing and keep driving, keep getting shots, keep getting boards especially.
With only 7 minutes left on the clock, BT has got a lot of ground to make up, but we'll see what happens.
Boyk with the ball. J-Rob tries to intercept that. Malcolm's going to fall and cause a jump ball.
It's a great job by Malcolm on that play. Good hustle play.
Noticed he was going to fall, and why not try and get something good out of it?
He made a whole lot of something out of nothing.
J-Rob into Malcolm is going to take the ball up. Over to Paris, back to Malcolm. Back to Paris. Inside to Ethan. And they're going to call him with the travel as he walked there.
It just looks like he had too much momentum going into it. There's really nothing you can do there with all that pressure on you as well.
Westminster not letting up on the press here, which we've seen all game, except for maybe a few minutes in the 2nd quarter. Boyk to Dunn, up to Paul. He's going to push the ball up. Will Hay picks him up as Paris comes back to guard him. And that's J-Rob on Boyk.
It's foul on Jordan Robinson, number 20 there.
But if there's ever a time to get up in their face and be aggressive and draw out the foul, I'd say now's the time.
Why not?
Ball off the hands of Paris. That ball's going to stay here. Dunn going to inbound it. Gets it into Tim Bolger, but he's going to go to the line. Didn't see he fouled him there, but this is something that the Cats avoided in the 3rd quarter, and it worked. Is keeping them off the line. As Bulger makes this one gets this one to fall.
Ooh, ankles.
Paris with some moves.
It's great to see the varsity guys get into it, obviously. We see a lot of them in the stands supporting the JV guys. You know, they care about each other. It's fun to watch.
With a lot of these players being sophomores, I would bet that most of these guys are going to be up there next year, and that should be another great team.
Yeah, a lot of hope for the Westminster basketball future. A lot of guys returning next year, which is always good.
Bulger gets the ball stripped. Rolls out of bounds off of Ian's hands. And Paris going to inbound the ball to Ethan. Back out to J-Rob. He's passing it to Paris. Will Hay wants the ball, not going to get it. Inside to Ethan. Behind the back layup, not going to work. Interesting little move Ethan put on the ball there. That doesn't fall. Paris with the rip.
Great steal there.
But easy layup does not fall.
Those are just the shots that you have to make when you get an opportunity like that. I mean, kudos to Paris for getting out there, but still.
That's the fourth one he hasn't made tonight. Must be frustrated with himself. As Will Hay is going to foul Sam Paul. Draws the foul and is going to head to the line.
You know, this Westminster JV boys team is a great team to watch. Really aggressive defensively. They've played decent offensively, too, this game.
Yeah, a lot of fire in each of these guys out there. I started off this game, and I was really surprised by seeing just how aggressive and how much energy they brought to every play.
Sam Paul going to go for a second free throw. My bad. And that's not going to fall. However, offensive rebound by Hirschberger. And he steps out, trying to save the ball there. Westminster can have possession here. Paris inbounds to Malcolm, up to Ethan.
Looks like BT has finally picked up on what Westminster's been doing basically all game, now engaging a full court press, which is seeming to startle the Wildcats a little bit, but they're holding their own.
Paris might not be able to make that easy layup fall, but he can sure hit that jumper. Another 2 points for Westminster. And Westminster not laying off with this press here. Grant Haley causing that ball to go out of bounds last time, and call a foul on Malcolm Strickland there.
Seems like he was complaining, you know, really just wasn't his day today on fouls and travels and such. I don't think he likes this ref all that much.
For Strickland, this has just been a day of just being told over and over again, no, you can't do that, and I'm going to tell you that. And Strickland is, you can tell that it's getting to him, but he's done a good job of keeping it inside for the most part.
Sam Paul at the line here. Taking his first. That's going to fall. In a 1-and-1 situation here. He's going to get a chance at a second free throw.
Watson Jackson comes into the game for Strickland.
Gets the second one to fall. Going 2 for 2 from the line there. Ethan inbounds it to Jack. Back to Ethan. Ooh. And that's a good interception by Sam Paul. He's going to take the three himself. That's not going to fall. Rebound by Dunn over the head of Watson.
I've got to give it to BT because in these 2 minutes that have passed so far in this quarter, they have really been doing a lot of groundwork down here, bringing the lead to only 11 points for the Wildcats.
Definitely have not given up, and it's been fun to watch them trying to build a comeback and the Cats trying to hold on to it.
Paris showing a little frustration there. Although he gets fouled, he doesn't drop the the layup again. I think that's one he can give himself. He was fouled pretty hard, and he's going to get a chance to make those two drop. But you can always tell when that and one is always a great thing to have, as he's not able to get his first one to drop. Obviously frustrated with himself that he can't get those easy layups to fall. Let's get the second one to drop. To Paul, to Hirschberger, to Dunn.
Great hustle play by both Paris and Watson.
Paris again can't make those easy layups. He's got to be beating himself up inside right now.
Grant heads up play, get the rebound. Watson inbound to Grant. He's blocked from behind. Sam Paul's going to work the ball up. Crosses up Watson. Good pass up to Bulger. And that's going to drop. Jack to Watson. Westminster trying to keep this lead, as the lead is now down to 10. Watson with the ball outside. Thinks about it. Drives inside. That one doesn't fall, but he's fouled at the end by Sam Paul. Great sportsmanship there from Sam. This Watson's going to go to the line again.
Looks like Schlafly for the Cats and Sam Paul were just interchanging some words, laughing a little bit. Be interesting to know what's going on down the court, what they're telling each other.
It's good to see some inter-school little bit of a friendship maybe budding. I don't know, but still nice to see.
Watson at the line. And second one falls there. Cats increase the lead to 11. But with 3:43 left in this game, BT looking pretty good right now. This could be a much closer game, but Westminster trying to keep that lead and make sure that they win this game.
At the end of the third quarter, I'd almost counted BT out, but right now they're really giving me a run for my money, and I'd say that these last 3 minutes will be the most action-packed that we've seen so far.
Boyd to Dunn. That doesn't fall.
In order to BT to build a comeback, they're going to have to make shots like that fall.
Paris really not feeling this game right now. Coach Morgan telling him to slow it down, don't force the ball, as his ball to Will Hay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Paris got pulled out soon by Coach Morgan, but he's done a great job so far, and so you can't say that he's not.
You can't judge one guy on one quarter. I mean, unless you're a star in the NBA and you just drop 20, then you can judge him. But
these guys aren't getting paid.
But Paris, not really his game in the fourth quarter there. But
I think he did a good job keeping his head up. You know, he was still aggressive. You know, a lot of guys, once they miss a shot or two, they kind of coil back and they don't want to take any more shots. But I applaud him for staying in it.
And he's got a great eye for seeing an opportunity, which we have seen so far. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to execute too well, but he has been doing it.
Boyd gets the ball up to Hirschberger. Back to Boyd, working on Strickland. To Ian Bulger. Back out to Boyd. Back to Ian. He's off on that. Rebound by Ajay. Looking to Jack. Back to Will, who tosses it up there last minute, and that's going to fall. Westminster showing a little bit of momentum back on their side.
Westminster just showing that there's no such thing as too many passes, especially on a breakaway like that.
And Strickland catching the ball after Boyk makes a little bit of a mistake. Awesome pass by Strickland over to Will Hay, who knocks down the easy jumper. Great athletic play there by Strickland.
Looks like BT's losing a little hope as they are down 15 with about 2 minutes left to go.
Well, it just looks like the Wildcats have finally realized, hey, what's happening to us? And looks like Coach Morgan's really inspired something in them. And now once again, we're seeing that fire in each of the Wildcats.
Matthew Failer there, number 23.
Failer gang, as he was known in 8th grade.
fortunately, we haven't really seen anything of Failer, but he is also a very tall forward, I believe, and it's too bad we didn't get to see him out on the court tonight.
We always keep talking about one day we're going to make this program where it's just Failer talks. Because if you listen to him talk for a good...
You never need to hear anything else again.
I mean, I don't even need to put a time on it because he'll talk and he'll just keep talking.
Such wisdom just flows from his mouth. I've never seen anything like the saint that he is.
You know, his most underrated quality is his freestyle capabilities. I mean, seriously, it might take him a little while to get his words out. But the guy can really rap.
But once he gets past his mouth, it's just beauty.
Musical genius, as they sometimes say.
They're going to call a block there on Jeremy Smith. Strickland coming off that pick really hard. But Westminster going to get the ball here as the clock strikes 2. Ref giving a little bit of a talk to Jeremy Smith here. Ref not happy with that pick he just set. Strickland hit the ground hard.
Smith has made a couple of iffy little picks here and there, and it looks like now they're really saying, hey, we're just playing to have fun. We don't want to hurt anybody out here.
Strickland showing a little bit of skills.
Flashing some talent. A little nifty move to get around the defender there.
When he's not traveling, he can do some amazing things.
Out to Jack. Finds Malcolm in the corner. Back out to Paris. To Jack.
Wildcats are just toying with him right now.
Just trying to run the clock out. 15-point lead with about 1:30 to go. No need to do anything crazy.
With no shot clock, especially to limit them, they're just almost like spitting on them.
Ooh.
J-Rob with some
crossover right there.
J-Rob almost made Hirschberger hit the floor, but Strickland ends up with the ball and lays that one in. Looking for they got to call a foul on Ajay Minocha. Sam Paul going to go to the line for an and one.
Sam Paul's one player that's really stood out to me. He never gave up. He's been going hard all game. And I think he's really been arguably the most impactful player on the BT side.
I would agree with that. He's really been the one player who's, with every time he's gotten the ball, he's really given it his all. He's really tried to make something out of whatever he could.
Parrish pushing the ball up. Sam Paul gets a hand on it, but Malcolm corrals it. He puts a little moves out to Jack, back out to Ajay. Probably could have taken that, but Cats just want to run down the clock here. Paris out to Malcolm. He puts a little moves, but he is way wrapped up. Sam Paul there, give him a little hug.
Strickland expecting much more from that than just a simple personal foul, but really with 46 seconds left on the clock, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, just showing some more frustration. It's been a tough game for him, but keeping his head up. Hopefully he can make these 2 free throws.
If anyone had something to say against the refs, I'd say Strickland has every right to do that.
And Strickland gets his own rebound after his 1-on-1 doesn't fall. Jack out to Strickland. Back to Ajay with 37 seconds winding down.
Ouch.
Ajay hits the ground hard. And
it's good to see him shake it off,
Yeah, they're going to take Jeremy Smith out of the game after another iffy call. So Ajay's going to head to the line after that technical. Oh, that was a hard foul. I mean, he hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah, that's why it was great to see him get up quickly. A lot of the time you can suffer little injuries there that are just nagging, or even concussions with heads hitting the ground. I know one of the JV Cats is down right now with a concussion, DJ Lottie. It's basically what happened to him.
And even though Minocha wasn't able to make anything out of it, he still did a really good job of taking it as it was, and not to say anything bad, but at this point I think it's really okay that he didn't make either of those.
J-Rob with some other.
He's catching ankles again.
I mean,
where's this been all game?
I mean, at some point This is the point we're going to need to give Hirschberger a map.
Calling them out. Looks like all the Cats are trying to get in on the action.
They're just going for some shifty moves now.
Flashing their skills. You know, they all want to make the crowd cheer, especially with the varsity guys here trying to prove something to the varsity coaches.
Right now, I'm really reminded of almost like a slam dunk contest, just people saying, hey, I can do cool things too. And
Jack
really
wants
just
some,
showing
and
it.
he gets them. He gets Wellick running back.
If you thought these teams didn't have talent, then you were sorely mistaken.
Jack Schlafly just going to dribble out the ball, and that's going to be the final here, 45-31. The Cats with the win over BT.
It's always great to get a big win over a rivalry team, especially after Westminster has taken a few losses to Blessed Trinity recently. Hopefully we can sweep them tonight with varsity girls game and the varsity guys game, and especially a 14-point win. I'd say that's pretty good.
Great play all around from the Cats. And that's going to do it here. Be sure to come support your Cats if you can tonight at 6 and 7:30. Or WCAT will be broadcasting those as well at 6 and 7:30. Tune in and watch your Cats take on Blessed Trinity. And that's going to do it here in Turner Gym in the Howell Center. I'm Bennett Porson with Drew Smith and Avery Rutz. Go Cats.